What's going on? How's everybody? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. People are too wonderful. Yeah, so not much going on. Haven't posted a video in a couple of days. To be honest with you, I've been really busy with work. But what I wanted to talk about today, a few things. I've got some original Xbox items I want to show off. I want to have a conversation about that. I don't want this video to be too long. One thing I did want to mention right off the hop, I know it's something that a lot of people talk about on YouTube and also other platforms as well, but YouTube's one of the more popular platforms. But basically us as content creators, we're putting ourselves out there. For the most part, we're showing our faces on camera. Now there's a lot of content creators out there that for whatever reason they don't show their face. It could be a number of reasons, right? Maybe they just don't feel comfortable in front of the camera. It could be self-esteem issues. It could be a number of things. It could be privacy issues as well. I know with myself, when I first started the channel, I, right off the hop, jumped in front of the camera, but I was very uncomfortable with it for the first couple of months until I got more comfortable. It's still a work in progress, obviously. It's never easy, but I think it's a really good tool having a YouTube channel because it builds your self-confidence in a way that when you do public speaking out in the real world, it's actually quite a bit easier than, before I had the YouTube channel. Public speaking, you get up on a podium and you're in front of, whether it be 100 people or 5 people, sometimes it could be a little bit nerve-wracking. But like I said, getting in front of the camera, it's not for everybody. I know Greg the Lone Wanderer, we've had our differences, but when he started out, he wasn't in front of the camera, and then slowly he started to get in front of the camera. So that's a prime example of somebody that was able to overcome some adversity there and get in front of the camera. And then you have channels like, another guy out there, we won't name names, and he likes to criticize people, but he doesn't actually show his face on camera. He just has an image. It's not even his face. Well, let me tell you something. It's a lot easier to criticize somebody hiding behind the camera than it is to criticize somebody in front of the camera. So, Hello? Rick! What are you up to? Not much, man. Just shooting a YouTube video. Yeah, we're just talking about how some YouTubers don't actually show their face in front of the camera. Hello? Rick? Hello? Rick? Must have hung up. Anyways, let's get on with today's video. Talking about the original Xbox. How are we doing for time? Already at the three minute mark, so let's keep going. The original Xbox, I talked about it recently, and the response was, at least I thought it was, overwhelming. I had a bunch of people jump in the comments and asked lots of questions about the Xbox. We had a really good back and forth. So I thought today would be a great opportunity to quickly showcase a few titles that were exclusive to the Xbox and maybe the PC as well, but we're not on the PS2 and the GameCube or Dreamcast. So I'm going to go through it really quickly here. Some of my favorites, these of course don't even scratch the surface, but these two, especially the first one, I love these games, and that's the Rally Sport games. Rally Sport the original and the second one. Dirt cheap out in the wild if you can find these. They, I believe, were released on the PC as well, but they were not released on the PS2, only on Xbox, and they are fantastic. I like them more than the Colin McRae series. Breakdown, pretty sure that was an exclusive to the Xbox as well. Now this is a Namco, or you pronounce Namco, title, and it was recently reintroduced as one of the backwards compatible titles on the Xbox One, which is nice because you can play it in HD. Now we have here Bloodwake. It was like one of the first titles to come out on the original Xbox, and it's from the same company that went on to make the, can't remember the exact name of it, but the powerboat racing game that was originally on the Dreamcast, and then they came out with a revised version of it, similar to the one that was in the arcade out on the 360, but sadly it was only on Xbox Live. So this is a very, as far as the mechanics are concerned, very similar. You're in a almost kind of like a mech powerboat, if you will, and the water physics are just fantastic in this game. Bloodwake is a must-own if you're looking to get into the original Xbox. A lot of people don't know this, but the original Half-Life was exclusive to the PlayStation 2, and it was to come out on the Dreamcast, but it just never materialized. Half-Life 2 was an Xbox exclusive. Now, obviously, this is scaled back a bit compared to what you could get on the PC, but this is no slouch either. It plays pretty good. The load times, I want to say, are somewhat minimal. So it's a fantastic version of Half-Life 2. Again, a game you can find relatively cheap on the original Xbox. Quantum Redshift. Now, this is a game that is very much like Wipeout from the same company as well. Wipeout was, Psygnosis, I think you pronounce it. Quantum Redshift was a pretty good game. Depending on who you ask, it's kind of hard to find in the wild. You don't see it too often, but when you do, it's relatively inexpensive as well. I wouldn't say it's as good as Wipeout, but it is a really good follow-up to the series as well, only on the original Xbox. Now, this game I wanted to talk about here, this was not a console exclusive, but I noticed it on the shelf. I've had this game for several months now, and I still haven't popped it in. So just to, again, go into it. I got so many games on the go for all of my consoles. It just doesn't make sense for me to purchase, either a Series X or the upcoming PS5. And so that's The Warriors. So a lot of people really love this game. It's an early Rockstar title. I know it's a cult classic, but yeah, I haven't played it yet. So maybe I'll pop it in this week. So The Warriors, based on the, obviously loosely based on the original movie from the early 80s. So I'm excited to sink my teeth into that. So, like I said, no shortage of great titles on the original Xbox. To be honest with you, this is a good mixture of cheap and expensive titles. The Warriors kind of going up in price. But like I said, for the most part, the original Xbox is pretty cheap. But then you've got those specific titles, like I mentioned earlier, like Panzer Dragoon Orta. For a while, Shenmue 2 was expensive, but then when the re-release came out, the price kind of dipped a bit on the original Xbox. So you gotta look out for those titles. Anything that's been re-released as an HD remaster, well, the chances are the title may have taken a dip in price on the 6th or the 7th generation of console as well. So, I think that's gonna do it for now. We're already at the 8-minute mark. I've got lots to do today. When I come back on my next video, I hope to show you guys what it looks like if you take apart your original Xbox and maybe remove the clock capacitors as well. So look out for that video, hopefully this weekend. So I'm going to end it there, guys. Again, thanks so much for watching. You people are wonderful and beautiful. You take care.